everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. This is the place where women over 60 come to be inspired. My guest today is Ariane Poole. Ariane is a professional makeup artist. She has been with 60 and Me now for many years, giving us great advice on makeup and beauty and how to look on the outside like you feel on the inside. So welcome, Ariane.
Hello, Margaret. Hello, everyone. Nice to be here.
I want to say congratulations to you, by the way. You've been on QVC UK quite a bit these days, and also TVSN.
Yeah, lots. Yeah, really love
TVSN?
Yes, TVSN in Australia. I got back 2 days ago from Australia, so yeah.
You look great. Actually, I've been watching your tweets and your pictures, and it's great that you're turning people on there to use your attitude about beauty and aging. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we have lots of questions for you that come in from our community. And one area that I personally am interested in is how to, as you get older, use makeup in a way that flatters you and makes you look natural without overdoing it, without looking like you put it on and, painted yourself. So I'd like to talk about specifically eyes today, because it seems to be the place where people sometimes go a bit crazy, and just making some adjustments can really make a difference. So help us with that.
Absolutely. And it is important. A lot of women, they do one of two things. They either continue wearing their makeup the way they've worn it since they were in their teens and 20s, or then they give up completely. So neither of those scenarios are really great. What you need to do is just adapt a little bit. Now, for those women who are still wearing the makeup the way they did in their teens and 20s, you need to soften it up a little bit. That doesn't mean you need to stop wearing it, because I actually think as we get older, we definitely need the definition in our eyes, because we lose definition not just on our eyebrows, but also around our actual eye area. Maybe our lashes are getting a little bit finer, but we just lose that definition. So what I suggest to people is to use a liner. Now, here's where people tend to go a little bit crazy and maybe do a little bit too heavy. That really heavy black liner, which looked fabulous in your teens and 20s, and even maybe into your 30s.
Cat eyes used to wear.
Absolutely, with the flick. Funnily enough, I did a makeup lesson just recently with a lady who was in our age group, and she was saying, I just want to know how to do the cat flick. And I'm like, you can't do that anymore, because your eyes, all of our eyes start to droop a little bit when we get older, some more than others. And when you do that, it looks like a sad cat. It's not like a happy cat. It's a sad cat. And if you try to make the flick go too high, what you're doing is almost making it like a tick rather than a flick. So,
if you want to look like a sad cat, though, that's okay, too. We don't...
Well, no. Once you take that little bit away...
It makes a difference.
Suddenly people think, oh, you look really rested. Have you been away? Because your eyes look brighter. But I'm not saying dismiss the eyeliner. I'm saying what you need to do is, so I'm going to show you a couple of things.
Okay.
So
and by the way, before you do that, Ariane, let me just say, let's talk about, just before you do that, what you put on first on your eyes. Because it's not just your liner. I mean, say that you want to put a cream, just take us back a step and then do liner.
Okay, so you're not going to just wear liner. But although, if you did want to only wear liner, what I would suggest is putting on some kind of a concealer product. Now, I use my mineral illuminating pen on ladies' eyes when they don't want to. And the reason why is because it doesn't budge. You don't want something that's too creamy that will go into the crease.
Right.
So, and as we get older, I know our eyelids, some of our eyelids become more stained. Sometimes they're a little bit more veiny. I know all that because it's happening to me. I can see it. It's just, it's there. And I even have, I have a couple of pigmentation marks on my brow bone where I haven't put sunscreen, and whoops, I didn't realize. So I've got pigmentation. So to erase that. Okay. If you're someone who loves to wear their eyeshadow, choose colors that are sheer, that you can build up, not ones that are really dense in color. So I'm going to grab, I've got a really lovely palette here. Let me just...
I think that's really important, actually, to have a foundation that when you do put the liner on, then it actually can make it can layer. You can always go back and do a little bit, dab it, like you say, you can layer the eyeshadow if you want it a little bit more sparkly or a little bit darker.
And okay, this is a really pretty little palette here. So I'm going to do that. So I'm holding the mirror so you don't get mirror.
Okay.
This is a really nice, neutrally kind of palette. It's got flattering shades. It isn't nothing. And this is a new one. This is our Cafe Chic palette.
It's really pretty. It reminds me of a Chanel palette that I've looked at, actually. It's no, seriously. When I was going to ask you, I love that green pink sort of. Is it gray purple or is it just a gray or a gray?
It's a gray with a little bit of a purpley undertone,
it's
so
nice,
it's not
pretty.
too harsh and everything.
Very
So
lovely.
what I would say to you is, instead of what we're used to, putting the lightest color all over, which means that we have to work that much, much, much harder to get the color that we want, use the mid-tone color as your first sort of call. And I would use maybe the mid-tone color for me would be one of these ones that, you can mix those two together, or you can just use it on there. Right. And then define with the darker shade, and then at the end highlight. Now I know that sounds a bit weird, but you're not going to get that stripy look. It will blend, everything will be nice, and that will go through to any other of the powder shadows. If you're using one of your favorite ones from Dior or Estee Lauder or Chanel or whoever, right. It doesn't matter. Yes, anybody. Use the mid color first. Now, if you tend to have oily lids and things like that, you can put an eyeshadow primer on first if you'd like to do that, and that will stop the oily lids. Now, I always use my Crystal Taupe as my eye base. Yeah.
It's great.
Or if you, for example, I know that you've got the Cosmic on from us.
Purple.
So, the purpley color.
Yeah,
you
I love
use
it.
that as eye base if you're using if you're choosing purpley shades and things like that. So you can use whatever you want. There are other eye bases out there. It's not just mine. So check out those other ones as well. But you can use those. And then you need to put the definition in. So you've got your wonderful eyeshadow on, and I might play around with this one. No, actually, yes, I'll put a little bit of this one on.
This is exactly what we're talking about, this painted lady look. You can do eyeshadow beautifully if you're a little bit subtle. If you try to make it like streaks and like you don't blend well, then that's where you get that look, and it makes all the difference. So go ahead and show us what you're going to show.
So
I love when you play with your makeup.
Hold on, I'm going to actually show you one of the other ones, because I'm going to put it on palette. No, not that one. I'm sorry, sorry about this.
No, it's okay. We love that you've got, I don't even imagine what you've got on your table there, like thousands of different options.
I do. I'm going to put this palette on because I'm wearing purples and things like that. So I've got this one here that's got a lot of purple things in it.
Oh, nice. I like the teal. That's pretty. Mm-hmm.
So these are rather strong shades. These are the ones where you could go wrong. So I would put on, and I've already put on as an eye base, so I'm going to put on again so you can see. So I'm using the Graphite Gravity eye shine as an eye base. So I'm going to just pop that on. This is actually what I'm wearing at the moment.
And I want to say to everybody while Ariane's doing this, that this particular product is the seller, I don't know about this color, but the Crystal Taupe version of this is always sold out every time you go on QVC. I use it. Honestly, I highly recommend it because it's a great base that you can build on. But look at the colors. Really, this is pretty. The gray is nice.
The gray, I love the gray one.
Yeah,
the gray one is really great because I know I'm going to be using these more bolder colors. Okay, so I'm going to show you with the bolder colors what you can do. Yeah. So I would use this gray, which is exactly what I've got on this eye. So I've just popped it on a little bit more.
It's actually quite sheer though, too, isn't it? Like, I mean, even though you've got color, it doesn't look like have overdone it. So
no, and then I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm going to mix gray and purple together. So because I've got little purples going on here. I'm not going to go for black because I think that black on me in the daytime is just a little bit too fierce. Yeah. In the night, hey, that's a different thing because you want to be a little bit more sexy and gorgeous. Cool. So I'm going to take a purple pencil and I'm going to just do my liner. Now, I showed you guys a great trick on one of our other videos, so I'm going to show it to you again. Pretend you're plucking hairs out of your chin and just do this.
Look down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a really great way of putting on your liner. So now I've got my purple liner on, if you can see that.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
And it's quite subtle. So now I'm going to
over the top.
Yeah, it's not, and I'm using color now because most of us feel that, and this is what I hear a lot, they want to go to the browns and only use the brownie colors. Browns can make you look tired as we get older. Yeah. It almost mimics, it gives you that sort of invisible look. So I'm saying let's not be invisible, ladies, but that doesn't mean that we have to be painted like crazy. So so now I'm going to take the purpley shade. I'm going to use my finger because I like to use my fingers, and I'm going to just dab in there, and then I'm just going to go on my outer corner and just add a little bit of the purple, and then I'm going underneath as well.
I love that.
So, look at that, really easy. And as I said, I'm going to use the lighter color now, and I'm again, because I like using my fingers, I'm going to just put the lighter color there. And you see how that blends in really well. I don't have
It's really
to.
pretty. I'm watching kind of with interest because this is the type of look that I really like. It's beautiful.
And that would look, it would look really gorgeous on you as well.
Yeah, it's
So
nice.
I've used purple, I've used gray as a base, and then I've used a purple pencil. And I think that it doesn't look too much. Then I will wear my black mascara and do whatever it is I need to do else.
So you used a pencil. Now you also have a liner that's like a felt tip, which I think a lot of people like because it's just maybe a little smoother or whatever. Do you want to show that as well?
Absolutely. So the same method. But what I want to say as well, I stop the eyeliner here, just short of the end of the lashes.
Right.
Because if you do this, like we're used to, going across and going right to the end, when you open up your eyes, it makes your eyes look like they're turning down, even if they're not. Okay, it's just the way our faces go as we get older and the gravity sets in. So if you have done that by mistake, so I'll do it actually just to illustrate that. I know that I don't want to take up too much time doing this, but if I bring it down too much, you see how that makes my eye look like it's drooping a little bit?
Yeah. No, it's really clear. It does.
And I've followed my natural eye line, so I'm not going further than my eye line. If you do that, take a concealer pen of whatever choice. I'm not saying it has to be one of my ones. It can be anybody's. And then take your pen like that and draw a line so that it is going diagonally up.
Yeah.
And then just blend like this. And you will make the eye like it's moving. It's going upwards and not turning down. So
it's such a big difference. You know, the thing about painted lady look is that, you know, you want your eyes and your whole makeup to look like people just look at you and they think, oh, there's just something very nice and interesting about that.
I mean,
not to notice it and to have it shout, you know. So
and this is a heavier look. So the reason why I'm showing you a heavier look for those ladies who have been wearing a heavier makeup, it's really hard to rein it back. So I'm saying you can still do that if you want to do that, but just stop your liner short of the end of your lashes, use the middle color and then use the darker color and then use the lighter color as a highlight. Don't do it the way you used to do it, but you can still have that sort of defined eye. Now, with a felt tip liner, the same method as before. So I'm going to grab my mirror again. So you're going to look down into your mirror. So I'm actually doing it the opposite hand. So, and then you're just going to tap. And the reason why you tap rather than try to do that is sometimes you get stuck on your eyelashes and you get like this funny line that goes on. And if you tap, it's much easier to control.
Yeah. It's really nice. I find maybe other people who are watching have the same challenge with liners, is that pencils seem a little bit like too rough for me. And so I like the liquid, but then it's all about the brush. And I was going to show you, because I actually mentioned to you earlier that I was in the UK a couple of months ago, and I found in Boots, a chemist, which is like, you know, the place to go for, for everything, basically, vitamins and makeup. This one, I think it's called, I'm like you, it's the Stay Perfect Liquid Eyeliner. And it comes in a color that I really love. If I can just open it for you. It's a gray. Can you see that?
Fantastic. Gray liner, fabulous.
It's really pretty, and it's, for me, it works really well because it's not over the top, and if I make a mistake I can just smudge a little bit. So anyway, actually maybe that was the black. Hold on a second. That was a black. Oh, this is the gray.
Gray is great. I'm a huge fan of gray liner.
Yeah, I love it. I use it today.
And there are other companies that do those kind of liners like that in that gray kind of color. Perfect.
But you notice the brush is bigger. Like your felt tip is probably a little bit bigger than this. I like the smaller one, but like you know how to use yours. But if you have a problem with, maybe you want to start thin and then build it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
no,
lots
absolutely.
of choice.
No.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good one. That is and the fact that they have different colors as well is, you know, colors are really great. You can add color to your eyes with a liner. I know that I've seen some really lovely navy blue liners and
green,
dark forest greens. Yeah,
green.
Fantastic. And you can do that. And that adds like, if you're somebody that doesn't want to go down that big eyeshadow route, you want to keep something a little bit more neutral on your eyes, but you want that little pop of color. doing it with an eyeliner is just great.
Okay, so I'm inspired. Every time you do that eyeliner trick that you do, people email and say, that was so great to do that. It was like, so thank you for that. And thanks again for just making makeup fun and natural and real. And we love you for it. Thank you, Ariane.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our 60andMe YouTube channel and also visit our website. We are a strong and dynamic community of women over 60. We're challenging aging stereotypes, and every day we share fascinating stories, interesting questions, and great conversation.